Hello, I'm CraftyAndy, and these are my thoughts. I want to be upfront that this is not going to be a breakdown of the series episodes and how they relate to the original show, which I've seen twice, aside from a general critique. I'm sure that's been done a million times as this video is being written, let alone uploaded. Instead, we're going to address the conception of the series and others like it. Good or bad is overall irrelevant in this sense. When I saw the trailer for the Super Mario RPG remake, I was charmed by the updated visuals, more dynamic cutscenes, and ultimately, all it did was give me a desire to play the original in all of its limited 16-bit glory. That sums up my overall feelings of the live-action Last Airbender show. It's not bad, and unless you are going to jump back and forth between both series and nitpick the shit out of it, I don't see much in the way that screams, "Betrayal!
Betrayed me!"
A shot-for-shot remake would have been extra pointless, so I'm glad they went for more of a remix route. They clearly gave a shit, and was hit or miss, combining episodes, including moments and scenes that don't come until much later in the series, picking out the more thought-out moments and throwing away some of the ones that are not as liked. But I have a theory in regards to that we'll get into later. Despite a lot of annoying exposition and early reveals, to me it's not so haphazardly put together and rushed. It crushes the soul of the series like the M. Night Shyamalan adaptation did.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
Don't worry, guys, I'll get him. Take that.
While I'm on that, whoever are these people that say that this is somehow worse than the M. Night Shyamalan movie? Look at me. Look at my eyes. Hey, your brain is broken. Got a broken brain. But we can fix it. We have the technology. I got a mallet and a drill. We can totally fix your brain. Whether your introduction to Avatar: The Last Airbender is a live-action show or the animation, they are different, yes, but not so different it's offensive like the Cowboy Bebop remake. Alright, you got me on the Spirit Forest episode, because that was practically non-existent in terms of its original plot, so we can have a more character-focused episode involving Sokka and Katara and Aang's development, and then shoehorning Wan Shi-Ton in there for no reason, because fan service? Speaking of getting the shaft, a lot of times I forgot that Momo and Appa even exist. Like, episode 5 is going on, and then Aang says to them, "Sorry, Momo and Appa, you can't come with me this time." And I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, these characters actually exist. Too bad they're all CG and not like some kind of practical effect where they can exist in a space without it costing $10,000 a minute. All things considered, we better get them samurai fighting at some point. One of the complaints I came across was Boomy's character change, which I find for the better, actually. It was much better that Boomy was more than just a kooky character that happened to be the leader of a city. He also has issue with the Avatar being gone for so long, leaving him making all these hard decisions that Aang has yet to even face, and for all intents and purposes deserves to be tested on.
Let it fall. Let it fall. And you win!
Ruby, this isn't a game!
Yes, it is. One that requires you to make impossible choices. Do I save this town or that? Who gets the last of the food scraps, the orphanage, or the soldiers? You have to make choices like that year after year, and that's just to save this one city. You have to save the whole world.
You can say, well, Aang hasn't been fooling around. He does take things seriously. Okay, is Boomy sidekick? Does Aang really know what it's like to be in charge over hundreds of people and have to make hard decisions that determine life or death in some cases? Iroh is the best, as he always is. Oh, the things I do to that man. But it's best that we don't hook up. Twitter would have a field day. Think about it. A 55-year-old man hooking up with someone 20 years younger than him. I'm still only 37 years old. I'm literally a child.
I'm a kid! I'm a child!
I actually like what they did with the Spirit Realm and upping the stakes with Katara and Sokka being drawn in. I know everyone on the internet says I'm supposed to hate it, but I don't. I get negativity sells, but let's face it, I'd be here expressing my contention all day with the people who I think skim the top-rated negative reviews of the show and make their own videos pandering to that sentiment rather than expressing their own opinions. I'm not saying that's even most commentators, just likely the ones who unironically put woke in any of their video titles. Whatever, it's fine overall. I see it like this. There was a anime adaptation of this manga called Berserk in 1997. 26 episodes. It ended only after the first golden arc of the series. Then in 2012 and 2013, we got another adaptation of the golden arc series in the form of 3 movies, where the anime is allowed to linger on a lot of the character dynamics and situations. The movies were more like the greatest hits of the first anime, with actually much needed story elements added in that were missing from the first adaptation, making both approaches to the series serviceable, even if they never adapted any further than the golden arc. I said they never adapted anything beyond the golden arc of Berserk! That didn't happen! Anyways, that is my hope with this live-action Avatar, which it seems to be the case after I went through all 8 episodes, where someone like me who already saw the series can just passively let it play out, and perhaps we will all be able to see it go beyond where the original animation left off and get into things like what happened to Zuko's mom, and Azula starting to change after her defeat.
Subscribe, like, comment me ideas and suggestions, Patreon for exclusive art and early videos, merchandise at the online store, check out the Weird Zors channel for weird furry shit, Pause Off for gaming skits and highlights from live streams that can be found on the Pause Off live channel. Work in Progress is streamed at the CraftyAndy channel. You heard what I said, now see it done.
Which brings me to the major contention I have with these live action adaptations. That they exist. I get it with the One Piece adaptation. I have no interest in dedicating myself to a 1,000 plus episode anime unless I can start when I'm 10 years old like I did with Dragon Ball Z. So a condensed live action version that stays true to the characters and dumps all the filler garbage makes a lot of sense. For Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's not overly long, it does not have much filler, and the filler it has is some of the most memorable episodes like Season 2 Episode 15, The Tales of Ba Sing Se. It's fine as it is. What's with this lingering attitude that animation is somehow less legit than live action? My parents and a lot of my friends' parents, boomer generation mainly, they were all the same. It wouldn't matter how good a show was. If it was animated, they couldn't give it 2 fucks of a chance. This could have easily been a sequel to the animated show anyone can get into without having to watch it. The book and series, Game of Thrones, starts off after a tyrant king has been overthrown. We get little nuggets of information what it was like during that time, while plots develop long after it without long drawn out paragraphs of exposition. It just makes me a little sad and frustrated to see all that creative talent and energy, from the accurate costuming to not being ashamed to embrace the wild world it takes place in, to balance the serious with the comedic.
Is it not customary to bow before your elders and to avert your eyes and hop on one leg?
And having that shackled to retelling a story that has already been told and is available to the masses, that is near evergreen in its watchability and quality. It's not full of a bunch of pop culture references and slang. This isn't 1960s Speed Racer we were talking about here, or Clutch Cargo.
Oh, that Paddlefoot. He funny city dog. He think totem pole alive.
Or 1990s Beast Wars. This is 2005 Avatar: The Last Airbender, where dynamic action and blending digital animation effects are seamless at this point. Does this show look like it needs an update? And a perfect example of what I'm talking about actually came out while I was working on this. There is a new Netflix show, Parasite the Grey. Parasite the Grey is a sequel or continuation or original story within the anime of Parasite. Parasite was a great anime that originally premiered on Toonami, is available on Netflix to watch in its entirety. And this Parasite the Grey is actually a continuation of that, or it's an original story. Either way, it's not a remake, it's not remixing, it's not changing anything, it's just its own thing within the same universe. Something I long for when it comes to these things. Whatever though. I bet in another 20 years, in 2044, we'll be seeing yet another Last Airbender adaptation. And the kids and young adults first exposed and growing up with this Netflix show will come out of the woodwork talking about how the new 2044 Avatar misses the mark compared to the 2024 Avatar. And I'll be sitting here nearly 60 years old, smashing my cane against the desk screaming, "Y'all don't understand the first Aviator show of 1995 or 7, was it 2007? First Avatar, AVI, first Avatar, Angie Air Thrower. Get off my internets! I want ice cream, goddammit! But these are just my thoughts. Well, I still have them. Age clock is a ticking.